of LeetCode 118, Pascal's triangle. Pascal's triangle is a triangle in which each number is the sum of the two numbers directly above it. So 2 is the sum of 1 and 3 is the sum of 1 plus 2, and so on. And all the numbers at index 0 and all the numbers at the end are 1. So we are given num rows, the value, an integer value num rows, and we need to return a Pascal's triangle of the total number of rows 5. So this is a Pascal's triangle of num row equals to 5 because it has 5 number of rows, and for that case the last row actually has 5 columns. So let's see here what's actually happening. So we have a 1 first, so we will need a base condition 1, and then what are we going to do is we have a 1 and we have a 1 again, because the first index is always 1 and the last index is value is always 1. So we just have a 1 in the very first place, and now the second value is the sum of the uh, values above 8. So we actually add a value from the above row, previous row, we add the value from the previous column plus the current column. So we add 1 plus 1, which is equals to 2, and then next it's the last row, so we just add a 1 again. Here we add from previous row previous column and previous row current column, so we get a 3 again. We previous row previous column, current row current column, so we previous row current column, so we get a 3 here and 1 again. And similarly in the end we get a 4, 6 and a 4 again, and at last a 1. So that's how we are gonna do this. So let us define some of the variables here. So first of all, we need to create a result array which is of length num rows, and this result array is also an array of sub arrays. So we will just create a sub array equals to new array of value 1. What are we doing here is we're just initializing our base condition here. Now once we have this, let us just use a variable L equals to 1 and just increment this by 1. So yep, that works fine. And now let us define one more variable array, previous array, so that we could use it in our function. Now creating a for loop, actually we'll create a while loop here. While minus num rows, and then what are we gonna do here is we are creating a new array again. So first of all, previous array equals sub array, and then sub array equals new array of length again L plus plus. So we initially created of length 1 here, and the length was automatically incremented to 2. Now we are creating a length of 2 here because we needed that one, and L becomes equals to 3 after this situation. So now we now what we do is we create elements, and we actually fill this with a 1 here also with value 1. Now in order to fill the values within each of these sub arrays, we just create an for loop I equals to 1. We start from 1 because at 0 index it's always 1. I less than the length minus 1 because the end is also always 1. I plus plus, and then array I equals to previous array. So we are adding values from previous array. So to get this value at the index I, we are adding previous array I minus 1 and previous array I minus 1 plus array at index I, and yeah, so that's all. So we get a new array, and then yeah, we need to push the sub array to our result array, and then finally return our result. Now let's run our code and see what do we get. Okay, so there's talking about the time complexity. Alright, so we got some problem here. We need to push this too. So what's the problem? Oh, we do not need this one thing. Great. So the time complexity for this problem is since we have a for loop here and a while loop which runs for n times, so the time complexity of n times n, and the space complexity is, since we are using to store our result and we are also using a sub array, so it's O of n.